Hi, I'm Luisa. I'm a freelance designer and I live in Oakland, California. I think that's kind of an ever-evolving question I ask myself. I guess the longer I've done it, the more I realize that there's a lot more to it than just the final deliverable. The process of understanding what problem a website or an app or a digital solution is trying to solve. There's a lot of work that goes into that before you're actually sitting down at the computer. In digital design, that's kind of the design process. How to take maybe a vague idea and give it form and give it shape and then eventually turn it into something tangible. I guess the process of design is just like, how do you get from that point A to point B? I used to work for a startup in Cincinnati. My old boss, James, invited me to Dribbble so that I could post stuff and kind of drum up a name and design for road trippers. Initially, it was super useful to get references for how to give shape and color and how to just design things because I didn't really know what I was doing, and so it was a really valuable resource. And then later, it actually was kind of the reason I ended up moving to San Francisco because I had followed this guy Hallie on Dribbble for 2 years and just thought his work was amazing, and I reached out to him maybe even through Dribbble, and he got back to me and said he was starting an agency and was I interested in talking. So really I attribute a lot of that initial contact and even the move out here to Dribbble and the connection that facilitated. I get emails all the time of people looking for freelance designers. It allows me to not really have a formal portfolio, at least as a point of entry. You may not get a chance to show a lot of depth, but you can definitely show a lot of breadth and just say hey, I'm a capable designer, at least initially, come ask me more questions. Right now there's not really a typical day. I'm freelancing and I'm only working part-time. I mean, generally in the mornings I'll get up and go to a coffee shop nearby and work for a few hours, and then go to yoga or go to the gym, grocery shop, cook, hang out with friends, go on a bike ride, read. Almost every morning I'll sit down at my desk with my coffee and there's a list of blogs that I follow. I think inspiration doesn't generally come from those, but they get me sort of in this focused mindset. It's how I transition from my sort of personal time in the morning into all right, I'm working now. I'm a generally super curious person. I love reading, I listen to a lot of podcasts, I talk to people. I don't know, they're just these little sparks every day that I guess I think of less as inspiration and more just that's the meat of life, that's what keeps things interesting. So I think I seek out just that kind of connection or kind of new ideas on a consistent basis, and I don't know, that's just the way of engaging with the world that kind of keeps things interesting. I even find that useful sometimes, to feel completely uninspired and bummed out. I need to give myself that time to just get a little low and almost just rest. And then at some point I'll be all right, I've watched enough Netflix, and I'll kind of snap out of it or force myself out of it because I've allowed myself, but I need to let myself wallow in it a little bit. I mean, I think to do creative work, you need to have some level of sensitivity. And with that sensitivity comes you're feeling the good and the bad, I would hope, because if you're not feeling the bad, you're probably not feeling the good either. If we think of inspiration as this tapping into this sort of underlying, I don't know, people call it super woo-woo crunchy things, but it can be this flow or this underlying sort of stream of life where you're not in your head all the time thinking about what you're doing and super self-conscious and really self-aware. And you can just kind of relax and tap into that. To be able to do that, you can't be in this happy, really rigid space. You have to be with whatever it is that's there. And if the thing that's there is that you're anxious or depressed, then that's what's there. I think to stay inspired, you need to also just stay open to whatever is and whatever's here. And so I think a good way to stay inspired is to sort of consistently practice being really honest with yourself and practice being really honest about your life and the way that you're living it and what you're doing and how you live in relationship with other people, because it helps those roadblocks to just not exist in the first place, or to clear them if they're already there. Right now I do digital product design, but I'm definitely interested in getting into a different realm of design, this whole world of design thinking, how it converges with maybe even social impact, international development work. I mean, this whole field that IDEO pioneered. I'm trying to figure out what that looks like in a genuine, meaningful, impactful way that maybe would allow me to make some sort of real contribution. Being half Mexican and having lived in Latin America for a long time, I'm really interested long-term in how to use my design skills and all of the resources that we have here, and how that can translate into resources or tools for the developing world, but probably Latin America more specifically. We have a lot to learn from the developing world, and they have a lot to learn from us. I don't know how that translates into the world of design, but that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out right now. There's something with well-designed spaces or objects or experiences that there's this feeling of synergy, or this feeling of things just kind of flow smoothly and easily. I dance salsa, and so it's like when my favorite song comes on and I know all the words and I'm dancing with like a really good friend and we have great chemistry and you just dance the whole song and it all like flows and it's fun and smooth and like you're just in it and you're not thinking about it. And I feel like that's what good design can create. This feeling of just like you're in it and you're not noticing the little things that are wrong. I think designers tend to be very critically minded, and I think it's from a good place because it's from a place of wanting to improve things, but we could probably all stand to chill out a little bit and like be okay with the imperfections. The perfect drape of a curtain and like how the sun hits that drape, that maybe you didn't place it there perfectly, but then you can like look at it and appreciate it. And it's just like this little reminder that like there's beauty in everything.